This is it. Finally, the wait is over. 3 laps await for our first outing around the magnificent 37 3/4 long TT course. There will be compulsory pit stops for every rider at the end of lap 1, regardless of whether they need fuel. The gods have thrown everything, it seems, at the Manx Grand Prix this year. There's been a lot of talk about Hollywood movies being made about the TT. This event will have the writers updating their scripts as the first riders make their way out. Alongside me, Cameron Donald. It has been unprecedented.
It certainly has, but we're away racing now, and that's all that matters. On board, Dan Ingham, very experienced competitor at the Manx, heading off third on road aboard his Aprilia.
Yeah, Supertwins now the machines for the Junior Manx Grand Prix.
Seen quite an international cast there. Italian, Spanish, French riders all leaving the line in the first handful of competitors to take on the course in this first race of the event.
Though don't forget, of course, last year Victor Lopez from Spain won the Junior Manx. The year before, Francesco Caringa, the first ever Italian to win a Manx Grand Prix race back in 2022.
Oh, now we see Maurizio Bottolico coming through on the Kawasaki. He's just past the lack of adhesion flag, and you can see why. That strip of water, Dave, coming across the course in the exact same place that it was during the TT.
Here comes Dan Ingham, 7th in this race last year. You can just see there as he goes through that stream you're talking about, Cam.
On board, Maurizio Bottolico from San Marino this year aboard a Kawasaki ER6. Last year he was on the patent day, so he's changed manufacturers. It'll be interesting to see if that can help him as a result in this year's Junior Manx.
Well, he lapped at over 116 miles an hour here at the Manx Grand Prix in 2023. We are riding with the man who leads at the moment, 5.1 seconds ahead at Glen Helen. And it's a very continental top 3 at the moment. Crenio, the Frenchman, in 3rd. So here we are at Balacry, and already Maiola catching Bottolico on the road, although they are the top 2 on the leaderboard. This is the man in 4th place right now, Dan Ingham.
Dan aboard that Aprilia, tucked in as he heads up towards the Balacry jump. Oh, nice and smooth.
But Dan Ingham in 4th place, Liam Chalk back in 5th, Michael Garn in 6th, but this is the man who continues to lead. Unfortunately, Michael Rees, we've been told, is a retirement. He's out of green, but as he goes through,
Maiola slipstreams past Maurizio there.
It's the fastest part of the course, the run into Sulby.
Of course, these are the riders. They're the riders that finished 2nd and 3rd last year, so where are they going to finish in this Junior Manx Grand Prix?
We just saw a spectacular Liam Chalk at Balacry, but we're on board with Bottolico.
Oh, he's not going to let him go. Shows the front wheel. No, makes the pass into Ramsey Hairpin.
They're scratching their way around.
Wow, that really is short circuit stuff there. No love lost between these 2 riders that, Dave, I know for a fact are actually quite good friends.
Wow. So there you go, folks. We're with the man in 3rd position, Julien Crenio.
A French rider riding this year with the Ian Locker team. Hugely experienced team, of course. Ian Locker, multiple Manx winner himself, passing on some of that knowledge now to Julian.
So it's now the run across the top of the mountain. Ramsey all the way back to Douglas. Bungalow's the next timing sector. And from there, it's down to the grandstand.
Oh, how's the sunshine? Look at that. Absolutely postcard picture perfect. They make their way up through the bungalow, but Maiola has now gapped Bottolico. He's definitely pulling away as they make their way up over the mountain for the first time.
Yeah, 10.2 seconds was the gap at Ramsey between Maiola and Bottolico. And don't forget as well, Cam, they've got to come into the pits at the end of this lap, even if they don't need to take fuel on board. They have to come in, put their foot down, and then can continue again. On board with Jason Corcoran. Oh, that's Michael Garn who comes flying past.
Well, he's made up on 20 seconds now, Dave, so he certainly is on a mission. He's not going to be held up on his way over the mountain.
Yes, so again, beautiful conditions here now.
Listen to that pattern. Parallel twin 650cc machine. They're really highly tuned production base, but boy, they're fast, these bikes. Running to the Supertwin rules, the same as we would see at the TT, parallel twin bikes.
This, of course, Cam, is a class that's been dominated by Kawasaki. Pattern have been involved in recent years, and now it's great to see Aprilia as well.
Yeah, well, we've had Suzuki from the start. We also got Yamaha on board as well now, so quite a broad range of machines. Oh, look at this slow-mo. Andrea Maiola there aboard the pad. Look at that colour scheme. Inspired by a fighter plane there with the teeth on the front of the bike. Awesome.
So here we are, compulsory pit stops, and you suggested that some will be taking on fuel. I would imagine because it would be hard to judge, would it, how much fuel to take?
Absolutely. This will just be a splash and dash as quickly as the riders can get into that pit, waste absolutely no time, straight back out there.
So there is our race leader leaving, and he's going on the run down towards Bray Hill, just inside the pit limiter, and away he goes.
60km/h pit lane limiter, Dave. You hear the bikes there hunting away as they ride into that limiter and then back on course and back to 100% throttle.
So Maiola goes through. He is still leading at the end of lap one, leading on the leaderboard, leading on the road. Here's Dan Ingham. Cap back on, and away he goes.
That's what I'm doing. You're doing good. Lots of space behind. Just keep going.
That's the advice. Just keep going to Julien Craigno.
He's getting some advice in that pit stop there, just letting him know his race position. Keep him calm, get him back out there.
That position, of course, he's now fourth. He was third earlier on. Dan Ingham in third place at the end of lap one. And this is what they've got now. The first sector out to Glen Helen, 9 miles roughly the distance from the grandstand to the first timing point. And here is our race leader.
Oh, Maiola, look at him, so smooth. Quicker through there, definitely in the first lap. The riders now, they're up to speed. They know the course, they know where those don't patches are, and they'll make the use of that knowledge on this second lap to be able to just push that envelope a little bit further.
Maurizio Bottolico, second on the road and still second on the leaderboard up into Sarah's Cottage. You've got to get the exit right here, haven't you, for the power along Kronkivodi?
Yeah, absolutely do. It's all about getting drive from here. You build on that drive all the way up onto Kronkivodi straight.
Julien Craigno, having lost third place, looking to regain it. So next interview, number 14, Julien Craigno on the pattern.
Yeah, Julien was a newcomer last year, and it's obvious that Ian Locker saw some potential in the young Frenchman, has got him on board for this season with the ILR team.
Also worth noting, Cam, we have a pattern in first place, a Kawasaki in second, and Aprilia in third.
Fantastic, and riders from 3 different countries as well. Dave, just shows how international the Manx Grand Prix is.
We're on board there with Bottolico, and it is, yes, 22.6 seconds, that gap between Maiola and Bottolico.
Oh, as we see Liam Chalk just wrestling his Kawasaki.
Maiola over Balacry, and on board again with Bottolico. This is just coming up to Balacry now, isn't it?
Yeah, fantastic line. Nice, smooth, straight back down on the tank. Asking everything and a little bit more from that ER6 Kawasaki. Bottolico becoming quite experienced Manx competitor, really knows his way around this course.
And great to see so many continental riders mixing it with the likes of Dan Ingham. He's certainly on for a better result than he achieved last year.
Andrea Maiola having a brief look over his shoulder there as he heads out of Ramsey Hairpin. See the lack of adhesion flag there, just letting the riders know this is a section of course that does take a long time to dry out. Even half a day after it stopped raining, the water wants to hold around the edges of the course and on those white lines where it doesn't get the sunshine.
The gap now, 25 seconds between this man in second place and Maiola, who's already gone through. So Maiola, sector after sector, consecutively quicker than anyone else.
There's Dan Ingham on his way through. I must say, Dan's just looking so smooth. He's an experienced competitor, but just looks at one with that bike. He has been racing that same machine for several years. He should be comfortable with it.
Into the bungalow, still race leader, Andrea Maiola. They're at about halfway distance now. Maurizio Bottolico just coming around the veranda now into the bungalow.
Oh, beautiful knee over the curb.
Oh, red flag. We have a red flag, Cam.
No, red flag will stop the race. We hope everyone's okay first and foremost, but the riders will be pulled over now as the course is neutralised at the first possible position.
A crash involving Chris Moffat at Balacry was the reason for the red flag, and Chris's condition is said to be stable in hospital. The organisers of the Manx Grand Prix Juniors race were hoping to rerun it at the end of Monday's schedule. However, the organisers felt there wasn't enough time to do so. So therefore, a result was declared, and the victory goes to Andrea Maiola, with Maurizio Bottolico in second and Dan Ingham in third.